All right. Through the parenting frame, again, strategy number 4, which is we're going to run all initiatives through the 4 lenses. Those 4 lenses are, we have 2 qualitative, 2 quantitative. The 2 qualitative are forcing function, time savings. Quantitative are revenue generating and expense reduction. And so we're going to take every single new initiative that we have, and we're going to go and apply each of these lenses and say, initiative number 1, is this a forcing function? Is this something that I needed to do no matter what? And so by committing to doing this, I'm going to create the content, I'm going to create the product, I'm going to create the thing that I needed to do anyways because it supports other aspects of the business. Next one is it a time savings now or in the future? By creating this thing, will I actually save time, or will my team staff create time? Yes or no? They're more qualitative. There's not necessarily data to support this stuff. You have to more use intuition. Then we use the quantitative. Do we have enough data to say that this thing is going to produce revenue or save on expenses? And if so, how much revenue? How much an expense reduction? And I guess back up to qualitative, if there's a time savings, how much time? We want to put every single initiative that we're working on or considering here and quantifying. Now, my criteria is that I want at least 1 quantitative and at least 1 qualitative, but ideally more than that, 3 or 4. But so what that does is that if I only have 1 or 0, then I don't do it. I don't, unless it's a hobby. Like I'm just doing this for joy and it's not really business related. That's fine. I'm just doing this for fun. But business related, there's a cost, there's an opportunity cost to things that we're doing. And so by working on project 1 or initiative 1 that doesn't check any of the boxes, I'm foregoing working on initiative 2, which could have, I'm just making up numbers, could have $1 million impact on our business based off the way that we've checked things out. So we've chosen to work on initiative 1 because of whatever cognitive biases, or it's just more fun. But instead, that was at a cost of, in this example, $1 million. And so what we're trying to do is make sure that anytime we work on a new initiative, we can't lose, because the worst case scenario isn't so bad because we've checked multiple lenses. So worst case scenario is that it was a forcing function or it generated some time savings. Didn't produce the revenue that we wanted or the expense savings, but worst case scenario is that I still have these assets, time, or this process improvement, et cetera, that exists no matter what. And so that's not the ideal scenario, but it's a scenario that I'm still okay with. And so we need to be able to have really, really ideal scenarios, but worst case scenario needs to be a scenario that's not actually worse. We're not worse off, or at least the same, if not better. So we want to take all those initiatives, rank order them, work on the highest leverage thing first, and then progress and move onwards. This is to prevent us from working on stuff that is not high leverage, that does not have an actual worst case scenario that we're still okay with. Nick, anything you want to add on to that?
This is my favorite strategy for anybody that is like me or has a million ideas, or right now while we're filming this, we're in the middle of shelter in place and everybody's trying to pivot. And so what direction do we go? This is probably through loss aversion, being time and money and headache. This is probably the most profitable framework that we've been able to put in place over the last month or two. So really, really powerful. And my rule as to not give myself the freedom is it has to check off 3 boxes. So that covers yours plus 1.
Yep. Makes sense. Great.